Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. It's being here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. And this is part 3 of What's in the Box. I've been going through some boxes. I put some DVDs mostly and some CDs as well. I filled up 5 boxes from my parents' house because my parents don't really use physical media anymore. They just do streamings, it's like that. So I was like, well, you just got all this stuff just sitting shelves. Why don't I just take it back to my house? I put it on my shelves. You know, I use it for videos and all that, and add to my collection, which is growing very rapidly after this haul, because I grabbed quite a bit of stuff out of their house. And anyway, so yeah, so this is basically this is the second box, but my third part of the series. Yeah, because I still got 3 more boxes to go through after this one. And man, did it snow again. Not as bad as last time. It wasn't a terrible snow. It took me about 2 hours to shovel the snow off, which wasn't too bad because whenever that was, the last time it snowed really bad, it probably took me like 10 hours to get all the snow off. So I got done with that. So I'm a little tired and it's pretty cold outside too. It's gonna be cold this week. So yeah, it seems like winter just all of a sudden hit again. It hit and then went away, then came back, unfortunately. So that's the state of Kansas anyways. But let's get to the box. What did I get? Let's first check out some more CDs. I forgot I had more CDs in this box. But let's check out some CDs that I grabbed at my parents' house. All right, first one we got called A Twist in My Story by Secondhand Serenade. Yeah, this is actually, I think this is their second album. I have their debut album over here. I really liked their debut album. It was in my top 100 favorite albums. And this is the second one. So cool. So now I got this first 2 albums. Secondhand Serenade is not really a band. It's really this guy. Which I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but it's basically just him. He writes and sings all the songs, but instead of just giving his name, he uses this kind of name, Secondhand Serenade, which is a pretty cool name. But yeah, really great voice. I really like him as a singer. I'm sure I've listened to this before in the past, don't remember much about it. Except for the second song on here, Fall For You, is a great song. I remember really liking that song. One of my favorite from him. I don't know if it was a big hit, but I want to say it might have been a little bit of a hit. I feel like none of his stuff was huge on the radio. Vulnerable off the first album was his biggest hit that was on the radio quite a bit. Fall For You might have been on the radio, I don't remember. Definitely should be. It's a really great song. But yeah, I'm interested in checking this out. I think this guy's got a great voice. Definitely someone I recommend. Next CD, I've got Phil Collins Hits. So yeah, kind of the greatest hits album of Phil Collins. So really excited to get this. I love Phil Collins, one of my favorite singer-songwriters out there, and has an incredible career, and definitely someone I plan on deep diving. Hopefully this year even I'll get around to deep diving because I've listened to all his albums. Got a lot of great albums. A lot of great songs anyway. So yeah, so this is 16 songs on it. Most of them are pretty big hit songs on here. Like You Got Another Day in Paradise, True Colors, You Can't Hurry Love, Two Hearts, I Wish It Would Rain Down, Against All Odds, my favorite song of his. Something Happened on the Way to Heaven's pretty good. Separate Lives. I'm just going through some of my favorites. One More Night, love that song. Definitely top 5 for me. Studio, kind of a catchy number. A Groovy Kind of Love, I really like that song as well. So, and some of these are singles that weren't on albums, so that's good that I got 3 of his albums, and so it's nice to have this, and I can have some singles that aren't on the albums that I have. That can also, but then In the Air Tonight, of course, got to have that song, one of his all-time greats, and then ends with Take Me Home, another absolutely amazing song. So yeah, really good collection of songs. I mean, one of the best collection of songs I've seen. Really interested in getting into that. Looks like a really good put together album for him. This is an interesting one. I'm not sure what to think of this. And I'm sure if this, my older sister might have bought this. My dad might have bought it. But this is called The Beatles Rare Photos and Interview CD Volume 1. So this is just, it doesn't look like there's probably any music. It looks like it's just different interviews that the Beatles did over their career. So not the most exciting thing in the world, but I thought, it's Beatles related. I'm a big Beatle collector, so I was like, might as well grab it, put it on my shelf. I'll listen to it once, see what's going on. But packaging is pretty good overall. Got a lot of cool pictures of the Beatles. Like I said, and there's the whole, and I'm guessing the booklet here is where all the rare pictures are, which is, whatever. Like, I've seen so many rare pictures in my life, like I don't need to see more. But yeah, so you got stuff like the pre-Royal Variety performance, the post-Royal Variety performance, Christmas messages. That's kind of cool. They always did these Christmas messages, so that'd be kind of interesting to listen to, I guess. And then stuff like preparing for the American tour, Australian tour, day after Hard Day's Night premiere. So after that movie came out, I guess they have an interview there. After receiving the MBEs, just after Shea Stadium, so after one of their biggest concerts. Then we got some press conferences in America. We have the Jesus Affair press conference, which I'm guessing is where, after the old controversy of John saying they're bigger than Jesus, he had to apologize. We got Yale Submarine Maharishi, the Beatles tour Australia again at the end. Anyway, so might be nothing, but whatever. Might as well grab it, put it on my shelf. All right, next I got Best of the Righteous Brothers, Unchained Melody. So yeah, the Righteous Brothers kind of greatest hits album, which I was like really surprised. Like I never knew, don't remember ever listening to this before. I didn't know my parents had this. I was sitting there, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we got a Righteous Brothers. Not sure who bought this one, but it's funny when you think about the Righteous Brothers and the greatest hits. It's like, do they have enough songs to make a greatest hits album out of? I feel like the Righteous Brothers, they basically had 3 pretty good songs. I mean, some pretty big hits, but outside of the 3 big hits, they didn't really have a lot going for them. I've listened to a couple of their albums, and they're not very good. Like, I don't know, they're just not, they never really did much outside those big hits, unfortunately. And in this, there's only 10 songs, which I was like, I have a lot of great hits albums. That's the least amount of songs I've ever seen on one. Like I said, I don't know how they even came up with 10 songs to put on this, but I'll listen to it. Maybe there's some other good hidden gems here. We'll see. Like I said, Phil Collins was 16. I think Phil Collins, he could even have more than 16. I think he has more than 16 good songs. So I can see an even bigger greatest hits album for Phil Collins, but at least he has 16 on there. And I have a lot that are 20 songs at least. So only had 10, just like shows like they didn't have a lot of big hits. Obviously, you got Unchained Melody, You've Lost That Love and Feeling. I mean, those are really good songs, especially You've Lost That Love and Feeling. Absolutely amazing song. Love that song. Then You're My Soul and Inspiration, another really good song. Outside those 3, I don't know any of this other stuff except for the cover songs. Excuse me. We have Ebb Tide, Just Once in My Life, Little Latin Lupe Lu, My Babe, Try to Find Another Woman, American Rock and Roll, and Georgia on My Mind. So, of course, Georgia on My Mind I know from Ray Charles. So, again, some of those look like maybe some cover songs they did, maybe that were good enough to make it on there. But anyways, got the Righteous Brothers. I don't have anything from them, so at least that's something, I guess. All right, this is a comedy album. I do like comedy albums, and I collect some on vinyl. I don't think I have any on CD, but this one I must have bought a long time ago and left at my parents' house and forgot I ever bought it. But this is Bill Engvall, A Decade of Laughs. Bill Engvall was a comedian that I really enjoyed when I was a young teenager in high school. I guess I was in high school probably. But this is like kind of a greatest hits. It's interesting. This is like a greatest hits of Bill Engvall. So it has a lot of different jokes from different comedy albums that he did. So it's supposed to be kind of, some of his big highlights as a comedian. If you don't know Bill Engvall, he's part of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour with Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy. And they did that show together, and they do a lot of touring together anyways. But I know him because of this album, Here's Your Sign. My best friend growing up had this CD, Here's My Sign. I never heard of Bill Engvall. And he played me it, and I laughed my head off. Like, I never laughed so hard. It was like, to me, the funniest, and I didn't listen to a lot of, stand-up comedy albums, but it was like the funniest thing I've ever heard. And I thought, wow, this guy's absolutely hilarious. I think he burned me the CD on like a blank CD, and I took it home. I listened to the heck out of it. Just laughed and laughed. Like, I think it's a really funny album. Here's Your Sign. I definitely recommend that one. I think I've heard a couple. Dorkfish is another one over here. Dorkfish, I think, is another popular one of his. I think I've heard that one. It's okay. Um, I don't think any of the other stuff is good, nearly as good as that one. Here's Your Sign, and then Here's Your Sign is such a good. It's kind of like his, redneck. You might be a redneck kind of thing, which is like when someone says something so stupid, he gives them like a sarcastic answer, and then he says, "Here's your sign," meaning everybody that is stupid should wear a sign that says "I'm stupid." So then you don't get mad when they ask you a stupid question. You just go, "Oh, you're stupid." I'm not mad. You asked a stupid question. I totally understand. That's you can't help it. Anyways, it's a great bit that he does, and kind of what makes him famous. Besides, he actually had a TV show for like one season, or maybe the Bill Engvall show, and Jennifer Lawrence was on there, and that was before Jennifer Lawrence was just a teenager. It was before she ever was like this big Oscar nominated, big Oscar winning actress. Really before she did any movies, she was on that TV show. Funny enough, anyways, and it was an okay show. Like I said, it wasn't big enough to. Anyways, needless to say, yeah. So now I got this Bill Engvall. They get last, so hopefully get some more comedy out of there. All right, then we got Celine Dion, My Love Essential Collection. Very cracked, so I'm gonna have to fix this one. But yeah, I like this. I have Celine Dion's Christmas album, of course. It's my favorite Christmas album, actually. I'm forgetting the name of it now, but love her Christmas album. I like Celine Dion a lot. She's got like the greatest voice of all time. She's, I think, the greatest female singer of all time. I always say her and Adele are like really close. I'd probably say Celine Dion right now because she's put out more material than Adele has. But I like Adele as much. I like Adele too. I think Adele has better albums, or at least has two really good albums. I don't think Celine Dion really has any good albums, but she has a lot of good songs, and her Christmas album is absolutely amazing. Um, but yeah, so I'm glad. I was really happy when I saw this. I didn't know my parents had this, so I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. I would love to have this. Is basically like a greatest hits of Celine Dion. So that's exactly what I would like. Like I said, I've listened to some of her albums and they're not very good as far as like overall quality, but there's always like one or two really great songs on her albums. But yeah, I mean, of course, you got like Beauty and the Beast, The Power of Love, Because You Loved Me. It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Love that song. All By Myself. Probably the best vocals I've ever heard anybody. She hit some incredible notes on that one. Of course, My Heart Will Go On. Won her the Oscar is on here. I'm Your Angel. Duet with R. Kelly was huge. That's the Way It Is. Great song. One of my favorite of hers. A New Day Has Come was huge as well. And Taking Chances, another absolutely amazing song. That's just some of the songs. But there's 17 songs on here. So another great hits. Again, I probably won't buy any of her albums, but greatest hits is about all I need for Celine Dion anyways. Looks like I got one more CD here. We can close out on my CDs I got. And this is The Essential Paul Simon. So another awesome CD that I was really happy I found this. Love Paul Simon, huge fan of his work, both as Simon Garfunkel and his solo work also. I haven't listened to all of his albums yet, but I really like There Goes Rhymin' Simon. I think it's a really good album. And his first album's decent too. I like his first album, and I like that album. And Graceland's good too. I like Graceland. I'm not as big on Still Crazy After All These Years, even though that did win him Album of the Year. That and Graceland won him Album of the Year. So he has two Album of the Years and plus one with Bridge Over Troubled Waters. So man, one of the greatest singer-songwriters of all time. Definitely a guy you put in your top 5 best songwriters, I think. And yeah, this is 2 discs. Like I said, the Righteous Brothers had just one 10-song CD. This has 19 songs on the first CD and 17 on the second. So we get a lot of songs here. Love it. And looking at it, just has some of my favorite songs, including starting with Mother and Child Reunion, Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard, Kodachrome, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Slip Sliding Away, Something So Right, one of my all-time favorites. I love that song. Such good writing. Taking Me to the Mardi Gras, really good deep cut. I'm glad that's on here. That's a awesome deep cut off of the There Goes Rhymin' Simon. I don't think it was a big hit or anything, but man, it's one of my favorite off that album, so it's cool to have that here. American Tune, another all-time favorite. Definitely like a top 5 song there. And So Crazy After All These Years closed out side 1. Obviously one of his big hits. I'm guessing this is more of his 70s work. This too looks like maybe more of his 80s work Because you start with the songs off of the Graceland album, which I think came out in '85. Because you start with Graceland, then Diamonds on the Sole of Her Shoes, and You Can Call Me Al, which was all on that album. Great song, especially You Can Call Me Al. Love that song. And there's a lot of songs I'm not real familiar with, so I'll have to learn some of these songs. I know Disc 1 a lot more than Disc 2. Disc 2, I just know a couple. Disc 1, I know most of the songs on, I would say. But I am happy it has Father and Daughter on here. Father and Daughter, I love that song. It's another probably top 5, top 10 at least, Paul Simon song. And I don't know if that's on any album. It was a song for a movie, the Wild Thornberrys movie, believe it or not. And I love this song. It's an awesome, awesome song. And he's much older. Like I said, this too is definitely him getting older. Father Daughters, yeah, I said he's a little bit older because this probably came out in the 2000s. And man, love that song. Shows that he still can do great work even as he gets older. All right, let's see. Got a lot of classic movies here. I grabbed on DVD. I'll grab a couple in a row because I know these are all kind of match each other. All right, so I decided to grab the Star Wars trilogy. My parents had that, and I also have. I remember I grabbed there's a 4th disc because this all came in one package, which I bet this all came like in a box package. I wish I had it. Unfortunately, I just have the individual things because it all came together, and I have a 4th bonus disc that has documentary on the making of Star Wars. It's a great documentary. That's why I remember I grabbed that because I think I bought this for my parents. I remember I bought this way back when for my parents at some point, and I bought it for my parents, but I watched it a lot too. This is before I got Blu-rays. I got DVDs anyways, but the 4th disc I've watched many times because it's such a good documentary on Star Wars and George Lucas making it and kind of making of the 3 movies basically. So yeah, so now I saw this and I was like, yeah, I might as well get the trilogy. Even though I have this on Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray I have, it's like all 3 discs on one package, whatever. So I do like that. I have them 3 like individually, so I can showcase all individuals instead of having to show one package for all 3. Plus, it goes again. I thought it worked well because it goes together with the bonus disc I have, so I can put all 4 together, kind of on my DVD shelf. And so whatever, I got these on Blu-ray, but now I got them on DVD. Plus, I like the whole overall packaging of it. I think it's pretty cool. So nowadays, I like to collect just for the packaging. If I'm like, oh, this is a cool kind of package. Anyway, so I got a lot of that actually here in my collection. Let's see. Well, I already showed Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I had another box, and I have the other 2, which is Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. And same thing with Star Wars. Actually, my mom bought this for me because I back when I was much younger. She bought me this for this again a package that had the 3 Indiana Jones movies. Of course, this was before Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. That wasn't even a thing, but all we knew was the 3 original trilogy. So she got me this, and it's really cool because it has these 2 and the Last Crusade. And this also has a bonus disc, which I actually have. Again, I kind of grabbed the bonus disc just because it's a great making of Indiana Jones bonus disc. And I have these on Blu-ray. Well, not these, sorry. I have Raiders of the Lost Ark on Blu-ray, and I have Last Crusade on Blu-ray. I don't have Temple of Doom on Blu-ray because I don't like Temple of Doom. To be honest, it's my least favorite of the 3. And it's a little gross. It's very dark. It's very gross. I really don't like the grossness of it. And it's just not as fun of a story, in my opinion. But when I was looking at this in my parents' house, I was like, and the reason why, I know the reason why I gave it to my parents is because it's full screen. My mom bought me the full screen. I was like, full screen? Like, I want widescreen, And so I'm like, but my mom didn't pay attention, but whatever, So I thought, I need to, so that's why I gave it to my parents. I thought, I'll get the Blu-ray full widescreen at some point in my life. Which I did got 2 of them. The only problem is the 2 Blu-rays I got have no special features on them, which suck. In fact, these don't have any special features on them either. It's the 4th disc that has all the special features on it. So that's kind of how they packaged it. It's like you just watch the movies on these, and then the 4th one you get everything, which kind of sucks. I'd rather them just put the special features on each individual DVD, and you don't need that 4th one, but whatever. But now I got the complete set back in my hand, and my mom bought it for me, and I gave it back to my parents. Now I took it back. So it has all 3 movies plus a bonus disc, kind of like the Star Wars thing. And I can put them all together. And again, I got them all 3 because I thought, it's a package deal. I get them all 4, put them together. It looks good on my shelf, you know. They all designed the same way. So, I mean, 2 huge franchises from Lucasfilm, in fact. Star Wars, the original, and Indiana Jones. And for me, that's all I need, really. Even though I do have Star Wars, the prequel trilogy that my friend Mike gave me. So thanks a lot to Mike. It's a great package. I actually really enjoy the package that it came in. So I got the prequel trilogy and I got the original trilogy on Blu-ray and on DVD as well. So lots of Star Wars to go around. And we'll just pretend like the other Star Wars movies don't exist. Same thing with Indiana Jones. I just pretend that there's only 3 Indiana Jones movies. And let's not talk about the other ones. Oh, here's the bonus. See here, this is what I was talking about. I forgot I had this in the box too. So this is the bonus material that goes with the 3 movies. So, and I've seen it before and it's really good. It's a really great making of documentary on here. So, yep. Put that with the package. All right. It was interesting finding this. This is Batman the movie with Adam West as Batman. And I was a huge fan of this as a kid. I mean, when I was like, 8, 9 years old, whatever. I don't know how old I was. I remember I saw this on TV and it's like because I didn't realize there was a Batman TV show at the time, but obviously there was like this Batman TV show way before Tim Burton made his Batman series, which came out in the late 80s when I was a kid as well. But my first intro to Batman was this movie, Batman the movie, this made-for-TV movie, and I loved it, man. I think I had I didn't have this DVD. I must have like a VHS tape of it or something like that. I watched the heck out of it, loved it. It was a lot of fun. This was my first kind of falling in love with Batman. Batman's definitely like one of my favorite superheroes of all time. It's funny watching these because this is just kind of slapstick, almost comedy compared to, the more darker Batman movies that would come out. But really cool to get this because it's nostalgia. I obviously it's not like a great movie of any kind or not one of the best Batman movies, but it reminds me of my childhood. So I was like, this is fun. I'll grab this. I'm sure I'll have some fun rewatching this. What I like about it, of course, is you have the classic villain lineup with the Joker, Penguin, the Riddler, Catwoman are all in here. So it's one of those things where the TV show, you had like one villain, I'm guessing. Probably every episode was like the main villain. But here you got like the all-star villain cast, all working together. Anyways, yeah, so and it's got some special features as well that I'm interested in looking at. But nice to put in my Batman collection. Let's see, we got a movie called Red Eye. This stars Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy, Oscar-winning actor now. He wasn't at this time, but now he's an Oscar-winning actor. And this is Wes Craven's, I want to say this is one of Wes Craven's last movies that he made. Wes Craven, mostly known for, I think, Nightmare of Elm Street. He's mostly known as that horror guy. This is a thriller, I would say. It's not horror, it's just a thriller. I thought this was actually a really good movie. I didn't see it in the movie theater, but I caught it on TV or something like that, and I was like, wow, this is actually quite good. So I'm not the one who bought this. I don't know who bought this, but I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'll take this. You watch it. I haven't watched it since, since it came out, which I'm trying to think. Looks like 2006 maybe. It came out right after Batman Begins, because Batman Begins was the first time I ever saw Cillian Murphy, and I thought he was great in Batman Begins. I was like, who's this guy that's playing the Scarecrow? He was the best part of the whole movie. I want more Cillian Murphy. I kind of became a big Cillian Murphy fan after Batman Begins. So I remember this was out, and I was like, oh man, Cillian Murphy, I love to see it. And he plays, spoiler alerts, he plays the villain here, who basically he's on a plane next to Rachel McAdams, and he basically tells her that he needs information or he's gonna kill her family basically. And so she has to figure out how she's gonna get out of the situation and save her family. It's that kind, and she's on an airplane, so there's not a lot she can do. But really, really, really well done. Thriller. Cillian Murphy played a really good villain as well in the movie. So one to check out if you haven't checked out Red Eye and you like thrillers and you like Wes Craven. All right, now we got the Firefly complete season, complete series. They only did one season, and it wasn't even that long of a season. This is definitely one of those cult TV shows that got a lot of recognition after the series canceled and the DVD sales took off. and became very popular. Just Joss Whedon, who's done a lot of big shows, and he's done the Avenger movies. He hasn't done much lately, but yeah, this definitely was a popular sci-fi. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel, in fact, I believe. That's why it didn't last very long, because it was expensive to make, and I guess it wasn't getting enough views, which sucks. I think this could have been a really great TV show if they would have kept going. It had all the makings of a really good sci-fi TV show, man. So it's like you always think, man, what did we lose with this show only lasting even not even a full season, only 14 episodes. Yeah, only 14 episodes, and yet it's still considered a classic in some senses. Yeah, but I got on this late. I remember hearing about it, but it wasn't until after the movie came out. And I saw the movie. The first thing I saw was the movie, and I didn't even know the characters. But I really like. He's one of my favorite actors right now, or has been. Now I'm forgetting his name. The main actor of this show. Because I'm a big fan of The Castle, and I think he's absolutely amazing in Castle. It's one of my favorite shows, and he's good in here too. I would say the show, it starts off kind of slow, but then picks up the second half of the series. Like there's some really good episodes. Yeah, I really want it's a fun cast, really good cast, real fun cast. Definitely one of those. Yeah, so I was kind of late to get into the show, but once I saw it, I was like, okay, I get what the hype is. I get why people like it, but I was surprised my parents had it. I don't know who bought it. I don't remember if I bought it or not, but whoever bought it, I was like, another TV show to add to my collection. So I want to get some more TV shows. All right, now I got one last big trilogy to show, and that is the Lord of the Rings trilogy DVD sets. For Fellowship of the Rings there, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Yeah, so I bought these back in the day. Like I said, these came out when I was, the first one came out when I was in high school. I was like maybe a junior, senior in high school. The Fellowship of the Ring came out, and I watched, of course, all of them in the movie theater. Fell in love with the show, but what really made me fall in love with the movie actually was after these came out. And I had a friend, my roommate actually, when I was my sophomore year in college, my roommate had this, the Fellowship of the Ring, this package, anyways, that like this. And I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Lord of the Rings yet. I was like, only saw the first movie at that point maybe. And this was the coolest thing I've ever seen as someone who likes DVDs, who likes collecting things, who likes seeing back, who's someone like me who loves listening to audio commentaries, who loves, watching special features. Like this was mind blowing. Like I remember the first time I borrowed this from my friend, like, hey, can I borrow this? And I was like, holy cow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, where there's just hours and hours of special features of how they made everything, about interviews with the cast, the writers, just everybody that's involved with the movie. You get to kind of really get a good sense of like how these movies, especially big epic blockbusters like this, were made. And then there's 4 audio commentaries on every movie. 4. That's incredible. And they're really good audio commentaries. Some of the best I've ever heard. It's so fun watching. And then it's extended. So it was so cool watching these because they added scenes that weren't in the theatrical run. And that was such a cool the first time watching it and going, oh my gosh, there's a scene that we hadn't seen before. There's a scene I hadn't seen before. And they actually, a lot of the scenes work really well in extended. So it's like, wow, it's like I'm getting a bigger movie and still amazing. Anyway, so yeah. So I bought these, and then I think I left them at my parents' house because then I bought the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray actually has even more because they came out with I remember they then came out with another package where they added like more special features to it than even these had, and so all those extra special features that they added later on are in the Blu-ray package that I got. Again, the Blu-ray package I have is just one disc with or I don't know what you're gonna call it, one cartridge, whatever, with the 3 discs in it, and it has all the special features you need, I guess, in that. But I kind of, when I saw these, I was like, man, I really love to get these back because I love the packaging so much. This is some of the coolest packaging ever made. I mean, it's the greatest. I think it's the greatest special features ever made. It's the only time, like, these were so fun. I mean, I remember watching like Return of the King, and then just looking forward to when the extended edition came out and getting the hand of it and getting to watch all the special features and all the audio commentaries. Like, man, I look so forward to it. That was such a blast to get these and, you know, just delve hours into Lord of the Rings and fall more in love with Lord. I mean, these made me fall more in love with Lord of the Rings than I would have if I'd never seen them. And I don't know why more movies don't do stuff like this, because this is such great marketing or such great, you know, fan service. You know, like, fans love this kind of stuff. And like, even Star Wars don't do this, you know, or Harry Potter. Like, as far as I know, like, I wish Harry Potter and Star Wars did stuff like this. Fans would love it. But yeah, I love you take it out, and you got such great artwork. I love the artwork on each one. You open it up. I love that you have all these openings. You got the 3 discs with the movie plus the other special features. In fact, oops, there we go. There's the full thing. So you got 4 discs. And because it's in edition, these movies are really long, and so I think you have to put part 1 and part 2 on 2 different discs. So you have to watch it on 1 disc, and you have to take it out and put the other disc to watch the rest of the movie. That's how long these are. Then you got 2 special feature discs. Anyways, but yeah, I love the packaging. Like, I love the artwork everywhere, and love the colors too. Let me see if I get this in right. I love how each box is a different color. You get the green with Fellowship, red with Two Towers, and blue with Return of the King. Love the colors. There's just overall just some of the coolest packaging I've ever seen. So I kind of missed it when I kind of gave this to my parents, and I bought the Blu-ray, and I was like, well, I don't need these. I got the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has everything that these have, but in a smaller package, basically. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, man, I wish I had these again, because I just love the look of these so much. It's so awesome. So I was so happy when I asked my parents, like, hey, can I take some of the stuff off the shelf that you guys don't watch anymore? And they said, yeah, take what you want. And I saw this, I was like, oh yes, I gotta get this back. Even though these are the DVDs and I got the Blu-rays already, I was like, I'd love to have this on my shelf and get to look at it and go, oh man, that's so cool looking. Anyway, so it almost look like books. They're so thick. Anyways, but yeah, so that's the last of what I got in that box. A lot of epic stuff: Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, all on DVD because I already have it on Blu-ray. So I'm kind of doubling up here, but I don't mind. I love the overall packaging of these items, so I think it'll still be fun to have them on my shelf and get to look at anyway. So, but yeah, that's all I got in box. Basically, box number 2. This is my 3rd video. You got 3 more boxes to get through anyways, and the rest is all DVDs, and that's all my CDs I think I have. So anyways, I hope you enjoy that. If so, comment, what do you think about these movies that I got and CDs? If you have any comments or any opinions on them, please tell me. And besides that, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. Thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a good day.